welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ashley. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and join the beauty family. So today's video, we are reviewing the new Huda Beauty Cool Matte Obsessions palette. So if you'd like to see how I snatched this eye look and my thoughts on the palette, keep watching. Alrighty beauties, so Huda also dropped a cool toned palette. Now, if you know me and if you've been on my channel for a while, y'all know I loves me a good warm palette. I love warm colors. They just complement my skin complexion so well. I love how they looked, and I just feel like you can never go wrong with a warm tone palette. But of course I had to take the cool palette for a spin. So if you have not checked out my Huda Beauty Warm Matte Obsessions palette review, please do so after you watch this video, just so you can see which one is worth it. So the same packaging for the warm palette. I love this, the texture, the raised text, very pretty. I would say across the board, Huda always has nice packaging for her product. She puts a lot of time into creating her packaging, which we love, honey, because I'm a sucker for packaging, whether it's the box that it came in and the package itself. I am such a sucker. So this is what the Cool Matte Obsessions eyeshadow palette looks like. So so I will say the placement for the cream shadows is definitely different on this palette. So on my warm palette, it was here and here. For this palette, it's these two shadows right here. But I just find it funny that it's a little bit different on this palette. But just so y'all can see, this is one of the shades. The pigment is insane. The pigment's insane. That's just all I have to say. I'm so happy that the pigmentation is bomb, honey, because I love a good pigmented palette. This is a pressed powder formula. It has a matte finish, fragrance free and cruelty free. So this is a matte eyeshadow palette with 9 hues, including 2 cream to powder shadows, which I showed you all already. And it's to create a subtle to intense look with a monochromatic twist. Now, I will say, for a cool palette, honey, as much as I'm not that much of a big fan of cool shadows, this definitely gives me a range. Like, this is definitely a great transition color, and I really feel like whatever complexion you are, between this cool palette and the warm palette are definitely great palettes for everyone of every complexion. So I'm going to dive into this shade right here, and I'm going to apply that into my crease. So we are just blending this in the crease. Look how beautiful and pigmented this is. So there is some fallout with this palette and the other palette, so both of these. I'm not sure if it's as much as the other formulas for her other palettes, but to be honest, I just dusted away. I do like to tap my brush on top of the palette just to get rid of that excess fallout. So now that we have popped this in the crease, I'm going to go into the outer V. So just so all you could see, this is some of the fallout from the eyeshadow. So I'm going for a smoky look today, so I'm going to go into that deep burgundy. It is stunning. I really want to see what this looks like in my outer V. Oh, this looks good. I'm happy I picked this up because, you know, I usually don't go for shades like this. So this is definitely great to add to my collection. And then I am just sweeping it back and forth, so I'm sweeping it in my crease and then sweeping it against my lash line, just to create that smoky effect. Just adding a little bit more for some intensity. So this is what it looks like so far. So I'm going in with that brush that I use in my crease, and I'm just blending out the edges. So now that that's blended out, I haven't used the cream shadow on my lid. I do feel like the application for the cream shadow could be best used by using your fingers. So I'm going to go into the lighter cream shadow, this shade right here. And I'm going to try to pop that on my lid. So this is what it looks like. It does have like that creamy feel to it. So I'm just gonna place that right on the lid where I didn't apply any shadow. It's a little bit more difficult since my nails are longer. We are getting them cut today. This is pretty. This is pretty. So as you can see, once you place it on the lid, it goes from that cream to powder formula. It looks stunning. I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that shadow and I'm just gonna pop it in the crease with a dual fiber brush, just to get into the nooks and crannies that I was not able to get into with my finger. Okay, so this looks bomb. So I am just going to smoke out my lash line with that deep plum color. It looks plum here, but it probably shows up a little burgundy on camera, but definitely in that plum burgundy family. But I'm going to use that to smoke out my lash line, pop on some lashes, and then I will be back with my final thoughts. But overall, this is bomb. I really do like this cream to powder formula. It's easy to apply with your fingers, and you can still apply it with a brush, but it looks stunning. So I'll be back. Alrighty, beauties, so we are back. So now for my final thoughts on the Huda Beauty Cool Matte Obsessions palette. So this palette does retail for $32. As I stated in my previous review for the Warm palette, it is a little coin, okay? I feel like it could be the packaging, it could be the formula, it could be the fact that there's 2 cream to powder shadows, but I definitely do like this formula. It's velvety smooth, it is super pigmented. I love the cream to powder. You can definitely apply it with your fingers. So this is the eye look. It is stunning. Love this palette. I didn't think I was going to like this because it is cool tone and I am a warm girl, okay? But again, just a quick glimpse, this is what she looks like. So if you do not have a cool tone palette, I would recommend this palette, mainly because I think this fits a wide range of skin complexions, and I find that that's always an issue with cool tone palettes. Sometimes I find that they're too gray. I feel like they're a little too cool for my complexion, but this definitely checked all the boxes, honey. So I'm so happy. I was a little skeptical, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little skeptical to pick this up because I was just like, I don't know if it was gonna work for me, but I definitely do love this. I definitely see myself grabbing for this palette. So beauties, thank you so much for tuning into my review. Let me know your thoughts down below, and as always, beauties, stay tuned for my next one. Thanks for watching.